Hey everybody, we are back with another episode of Related to the Game. As always, Ben, along with my brother-in-law Prasan. It's good to be back. We are excited to get another one going here. I guess we can just dive right into it. NFC and AFC Championship reactions. You can fire away first, pick a game, and let it rip. What do you have?
Sure. We'll start with the first game of the weekend. Was Patriots Broncos, which started slow as kind of everybody anticipated, I think, defensively. But then it picked up a little bit with the snow in the second half. And I think that added to the game. Overall, it was a very defensive game. I think the Patriots offense would have got going a little more than it did if it wasn't for the snow. But yeah, I think how that game started was interesting. The biggest thing for me, when Jarrett Stidham threw that deep ball to Marvin Mims in the first half, and then our first quarter rather, and then all of a sudden, about 2 plays later, he threw the touchdown to Cortland Sutton. It felt like, okay, here we go. Like, this is going to be
Yeah.
not what people expected. Jarrett Stidham's got it a little bit in him, and then it just kind of like shut off. I mean, that's all they scored. Final score to that game was 10-7, and that first quarter touchdown was all that Denver had in them. So
What a moment for
Drake,
Jarrett
ma-
Stidham, though. I mean, come out just firing away and score a touchdown. That's crazy.
it's a crazy moment. It's one of those moments where you kind of felt like, okay, like this is going to be a game here. And I mean, it wasn't an offensive game, but it was still a close game the whole time. Um, and yeah, Drake May once again did not play well. I will talk about Super Bowl in a little bit, but I do worry about that in the Super Bowl that Drake May hasn't played well. In the entire playoff so far, Drake May just obviously hasn't played well, but also thrown a lot of interceptions, right? He's thrown a
Hmm.
lot of interceptions throughout. He's taken a lot of sacks in the playoffs. So I worry about that for him overall.
Yeah. I have to admit, I was at a wedding on championship weekend Sunday, so I did not get to watch much of either of these games. So I was box score watching and then saw some highlights just after the games and such. But yeah, I mean, kind of crazy that snow came out of nowhere, and it kind of seemed like the forecast wasn't kind of a chance of snow, but nothing like that. And it's kind of crazy how much that seemed to shut the. Not that the offenses were going crazy anyways, but that really kind of put a damper on it. And I guess what do you like snow games? I feel like there's been like a people have been talking online like some people love it, other people's hate it because it turns into a punt fest and just nothing happens.
I'm mixed. I feel like snow games are fun to be at, right? I think that's as a fan, it's fun to be at snow games. Um, in the regular season, it almost is more enjoyable at that point because I think it impacts too much in the playoffs. And I think the hard part about that is like not everybody in the playoffs is going to experience that, right? It almost feels like, okay, if there's two teams out there playing in a snow game and then there's two teams out there playing in a dome, it almost, I mean, that doesn't feel fair. It's part of the game. It's part of what it is, but I mean, I don't love it in the playoffs, but I don't know how you get around that. So it's a fun atmosphere as a fan for sure.
Yeah, I'm mixed as well, but I'm leaning towards the I love it side just because those games are so unique and memorable.
Mm.
And just you just feel it just feels like a legendary moment. I don't know. We're just watching these guys battle it out, running through the snow and seeing who can overcome both the other team and the elements. I just think it adds a little something to it, and it definitely makes it memorable.
It's different, I think, too, when you see um, two really good defenses, snow or not, And then you add snow to that, which is going to slow the offenses down, and it just really amplifies the defense that's played. Earlier in the playoffs, we had that forget who it was, but there was like 6 or 7 turnovers in the game. Like, it'd be cool to see that in a snowfest too, and what that looks like with two defenses that play well. Um, the Broncos in this game had 5 sacks. And I just quarterback play was at a minimum here because of A, the defenses, and B, the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, and if I saw right, the Broncos had a field goal to try to tie it, and it got tipped, right?
Yeah, it got tipped.
In the fourth quarter.
Both kickers missed 2 field goals in this game, so I mean it was
Okay.
kind of even. But yeah, the Broncos had one with like 2 or 3 minutes, I think 3 minutes to go,
Yeah.
to try and tie the game, and they missed it. So I believe that field goal too came right after. I think the Patriots had the ball, and Drake May either threw an interception or fumbled, and the Broncos got the ball back, pretty decent field position. They went driving up the field, and then they missed the field goal. So
Yeah. Brutal. I saw that and I just thought to myself, as a Packer fan, that's all too familiar, seeing special teams cost a season. It seems like there's always a playoff game or two every year that special teams is the deciding factor, it feels like. And that's
yeah.
one. It was to tie it, so you never know what happens after that, but brutal. What do you think for the Broncos? Do you think if Bo Nix is playing, do you think they win?
Yes, I do. And I do. And I don't think it's necessarily a matter of Bo Nix is better than Drake May. I think Drake May actually is the better quarterback, but I think Drake May hasn't played that well, obviously, as we've talked about here a couple weeks now in a row. And I think at home, I think Bo Nix is able to play a little bit better in that first half, because the first half really, I think, was where the Broncos could have taken a lead in the game, because the weather was fine. I mean, the problem is both teams were kind of tiptoeing around, feeling out the defenses, and it was a really defensive battle. I think Bo Nix would have done a little bit better there and could have at least scored maybe. I mean, one more touchdown wins the game. One field goal ties the game, and all of a sudden it's a different game there. So I think Bo Nix would have played much better in the first half, and at least done enough to score maybe another 3-6 points, if not a touchdown, and they win the game.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Just seeing how that game played out. Obviously, butterfly effect, you never know what else changes
Sure.
if Bo Nix is playing, but you got to think in a grinded out game like that Bo Nix would be able to elevate that Broncos offense enough to get them, like you were saying, in the first half, if nothing else, the first half, get them a lead, get them another touchdown or something. But yeah, I guess the Patriots, the cakewalk allegations will continue. I mean, between the regular season schedule and now, they got the job done. They beat the backup quarterback. You can't control who you play against, but they find themselves in the Super Bowl. I mean, I think they're a good team, but I think you put them in a couple different matchups and they don't make it this far.
Right. Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see, and we'll talk about the Super Bowl, but it'll be interesting to see. I mean, clearly against a good Seattle team, and see what happens, and hope for a good game there. But I think it'll be interesting because, yeah, there's a lot of allegations out there that they're just not that good of a team. They've had an easy schedule. I saw something earlier this week that basically laid out the teams they played in the regular season, and like the majority of those teams have fired their coach. So
Yeah,
like
I saw
not
that
good
too.
teams.
Yeah, it was like 10 of the teams they played had fired their head coach, and another 2 or 3 had fired coordinators, and it's just
Yeah.
like crazy. But yeah, they move on. They're gonna face the Seahawks here. In that Seahawks Rams matchup. Again, I didn't get to see too much, so I guess I'll let you take the lead again. Just takeaways from the game, or what you noticed watching it.
Yeah, this was a great game. I mean, this was after coming off a 10-7 snooze fest defensive showdown. I mean, this was an offensive game. JSN, Puka Nakua. I mean, master classes from both of them. Just what you'd expect from both of them. Two receivers that are just showing out. Um, Seattle ran the ball fairly well. Kenneth Walker was limited on yards, but was able to get in for a touchdown. He had a couple big catches too in that game. The Rams didn't run the ball very well. I mean, Corum led the way for them with 55 and Kyron Williams at about 40, just under 40. So, could have run the ball better. Seattle, obviously a good defensive team there. So, was kind of what I expected a little bit. Sam Darnold shut the haters up a little bit. Let me just say, Sam Darnold played outstanding, and credit to him because everyone came into that game thinking, hey, you know what? If Seattle wins this game, it's going to be their defense, maybe their running game a little bit. Sam Darnold threw 346 yards, okay? 3 touchdowns. Did everything he needed to do to win the game. I mean, he did really, really, really well. So credit to him. Just kind of a fun stat, right? You never know who's catching touchdowns in these games. Jake Bobo caught a touchdown. First one since January of last year. Okay.
Love it.
So, love it. Love it. You never know what's going to happen in these games. I've seen a lot of people in the Super Bowl talking about, oh, Jake Bobo is for sure going to catch a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Do not bet on a Jake Bobo touchdown in the Super Bowl, okay? That is a terrible decision. It's probably not going to happen. It'll happen now that I said that, but yeah, I mean, a really great game. I think the interesting part to that game is it was so offensive all game long, and then there were no points scored in the fourth quarter. So both defenses just figured it out in the fourth quarter, and Seattle obviously had the lead at that point by 4 and never gave it up.
Yeah, I just had noted that Stafford balled out, but Sam Darnold did too. They kind of canceled each other out, and all playoffs, we both liked the Rams from the start, and it was really based on trusting Stafford to go get a touchdown when they need it, and he couldn't get it done this game. They, like you said, no points in the fourth quarter from either team, and so he had his opportunities and just couldn't get it done. Credit to the Seahawks. The defense is crazy good, and like we were saying, Sam Darnold balled out, JSN, and they're rolling into the Super Bowl. I mean,
yeah.
It's just another takeaway, too, is just how big of a deal home field is when you get in these playoff games, especially going to a place like Seattle. You never know how that game plays out if it's in Los Angeles, but that Seattle crowd is always a factor when you go there, especially in a big game like this. So we get to the Super Bowl then. We got Patriots,
Before we get
Seahawks.
to the Super Bowl,
Okay.
Super Bowl, I gotta ask, how much of a travesty is it to have a wedding on Championship Sunday? That's crazy.
It was brutal. Yeah, I mean, I didn't put 2 and 2 together till like the Thursday before. Like I knew championship games were coming up. I knew the wedding was coming up. I didn't put it together that the wedding started at the kickoff of the first game and carried on through the end of the second game. So, I mean, it was a fun wedding. We had a good time. It was kind of hard to get too crazy because it was a Sunday. I had work the next day. But, no, we had a good time and
good.
Definitely
it's kind of
had some FOMO sitting there kind of listening to a best man speech and like this is enjoyable, but I also could be like watching Seahawks Rams right now. So
it's like what they say in the fall of, hey, you don't get married in the fall because everyone's got college football on and all these kind of things. And oof, man, this might be worse. Getting married on Championship Sunday. Oof.
At least it wasn't the Super Bowl.
That's true. At least it wasn't the Super Bowl for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the Super Bowl. Give me your thoughts. Who do you like? What's it going to come down to?
Here's what I got for you. It's all Seahawks.
Man.
It's all Seahawks. Seahawks come out firing on all cylinders. Yes, this is a Seahawks Russell Wilson jersey I got in 8th grade. Still fits. It was huge on me back in the day. Seahawks come out. They're the better team all around. They have shown consistency through at least since the bye, second half of the season through the playoffs. They're just going to keep it rolling. And I think the Seahawks are like 3 or 4 point favorites. It's not my lock of the week, but they're going to cover that and Super Bowl champs.
I love it. I love it. Look at you. I
Yep.
love the energy. I like Seattle. I like Seattle too. I think they're going to win the game. I think it'll be closer, and I think it'll be closer because of the defenses. That's kind of been the theme of, we've had offensive sparks, but the teams that they always say defenses win championships. And I mean, here we are with 2 good defensive teams again in the championship. So I think because of the defenses, it'll be a closer game. I think we've got Drake May is going to have issues. He is going to have a lot of issues, especially with not playing well so far all postseason. I think the Seattle defense is really going to get to him. I think on the Seattle side, I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to struggle a little bit. I think he's going to have Christian Gonzalez on him. I think Seattle's going to have a plan, or rather, the Patriots are going to have a plan for him. So I think the Seahawks are going to have to figure out another option, who you throw on the ball. I like Rashid Shaheed a lot. I think he's going to have a couple big catches in that game, just because they're all focused on Njigba. And who knows, maybe Jake Bobo comes up and scores another touchdown again because of it. But I think overall it's going to come down to how does Sam Darnold play. If Sam Darnold plays anything near how he played against the Rams, they're going to win the game easily, I think. I think he might struggle a little bit with that defense, and then it's going to come down to, hey, Kenneth Walker got to make some plays. So I like Seattle. I like Seattle a lot.
Yeah, couple things. I had Rashid Shaheed noted as well, especially because, like you said, they'll have a plan for JSN. And, man, talk about an in-season trade. If Rashid Shaheed plays any sort of a big factor in this game and the Seahawks win, it's up there for one of the greatest of all-time in-season trades. He's come in and been a spark plug, huge plays every playoff game. I mean, the dude's been just a perfect pickup for them and just been exactly what they needed. So he's going to be a huge factor, I think. He just seems to always have a big play or two. Watch him in the return game or a deep ball. You never know. And then the other thing is just talking about the Seahawks defense for Drake May to deal with. I do think that the Texans defense is better, which he didn't play great against them, but he didn't do horrible either, and they won. But I think for a younger quarterback, the Seahawks defense might be a tougher matchup because the Texans play very straight up. They're just really good at it. The Seahawks come at you with more exotic stuff.
Sure.
They're showing blitz here. They're bringing guys from the second level. They're mixing up their coverages. Tough to diagnose. So I think it could be a tough day at the office for Drake May. I think they'll get pressure on him. Maybe confuse him into an interception or two. So yeah, I really like Seattle.
Yeah, I think overall, I think it should be a good game. I think Seattle covering, I don't think that's a bad guess. I think they easily could. This is one that you feel like could go either way. It could be a close game. You could also see something like Seattle running up the score. I don't think the Patriots are going to be the ones running up the score. I don't see them with Seattle's defense being the one that all of a sudden are just pulling away with this thing. But I think Seattle could, especially if they get up early. If Seattle gets up early and especially can tire out the Patriot defense, that's an issue. That could be a problem because then all of a sudden the Seahawks have a lot in the arsenal in the first on the offensive side. Then all of a sudden defense gets tired. Now all of a sudden you've got Jackson Smith-Njigba that's gonna light it up a little bit there. If you get Rashid Shaheed making plays early on, I mean, receiving wise, that could be a big threat for them. AJ Barner, the Patriots really struggle against tight ends on their defense, so AJ Barner I think could have a decent game. I think offensively, the Seahawks are just a much better team than the Patriots. I think Drake May is going to have to use his legs, and I don't know that I love that in this game. So I think overall Seattle.
For sure. I just got to clarify. I was just realizing I'm wearing this Seahawks jersey, and I'm a big Packer fan, so it's kind of disgusting. It feels wrong. And I got this. I've always been a Packer fan, but man, I'm a big Badger fan too. And Russell Wilson at Wisconsin was like, you could not believe. So when this guy got drafted, I think I got this before he even got the starting job. I was like, Mom, Dad, I want a Russell Wilson jersey so bad. These Seahawks new jerseys are sick. Russell Wilson is the greatest quarterback to ever walk the earth. This is the best thing ever. So that's how I have a Seahawks jersey. I honestly got really lucky that he ended up even being a starter, much less for many years like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. But yeah, I had to clear the air there because as I was seeing myself on the camera, just like, man, it's just not quite right wearing a Seahawks jersey. But I'll ride with him for a week here.
And then I got Russell Wilson in New York. So you know what? We've all had our Russell Wilson experience, whether that was, positive or not. So awesome. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good Super Bowl. Are you doing Super Bowl party or anything, or are you just kind of hanging at home?
We're hanging out with some friends that afternoon and evening, but we both have little kids, so I think we'll
probably not
be together for the start of the Super Bowl, but we're not gonna have like a full-on Super Bowl party. I don't know. It's tricky because no matter when you drive home during the Super Bowl, you're missing something. You don't want to miss the halftime show. You don't want to miss the commercials, and you don't want to miss the game, obviously.
Yeah, so it's tough.
We'll just have to drive really fast, I guess,
Here's a question for you. If your team's in the Super Bowl, if the Packers are in the Super Bowl, are you going to a Super Bowl party or are you watching that thing at home?
Oh, party for sure.
Really? That's interesting.
Absolutely.
People are I feel like people are 50-50 on that. I don't know how I'd feel. I honestly I'm a big Super Bowl party guy. Like, I should go. I love going to Super Bowl parties. We do it pretty much every year. I don't know if the Giants are in the Super Bowl. I don't know if I'm going to the party or not because number one, here's my issue with Super Bowl parties. First of all, most of the people there, I feel like, are not super invested in the game. Now, you're a little bit different, Packer fan, your family, things like that. That's fair. But I feel like most of the time people aren't that invested in the game. So you're sitting there, if you're locked in on the game and people are trying to chat with you during the game, it's like, leave me alone. Additionally, I just don't know if my team lost the Super Bowl. I don't know if I could handle that. I don't know if I could handle being at a gathering while that's going on. So I'm just curious. There's mixed opinions on that.
Yeah, and I guess from your perspective, you're going to a Super Bowl party with a bunch of people in Wisconsin that probably aren't Giants fans.
Correct.
So that's a different.
Good point.
Where I'm going to a Super Bowl party where every single person there is a big Packer fan. So, and I just got memories of the 2011 Super Bowl where with my entire family, and it was just a life-altering experience. I mean, every single touchdown, they were passing around shots to all the adults. By the end of the game, all the kids were taking Mountain Dew shots, and it was just the biggest riot and just a core memory. So there's no
awesome.
chance
I'd
be missing a Super Bowl party for the Packers. So
it does help when everyone you're around is actually invested in the game and rooting for the team. So for sure, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a lock of the week for the Super Bowl here, or do you not pick one?
I do it. Oh, I got one. Don't worry.
All right.
I have got a lock of the week. So last week I won. I'm 2-1. We're back over 500. My lock of the week this week, Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. That's my lock of the week. It's happening. I think that's going to be, especially Seattle's going to be running the ball, I think, especially towards the end of the game. I like him a lot. I think he is a lock to score.
All right. Do you know what the odds are on that? Yeah, they're written down by
Yeah,
chance.
it's pretty high. The odds are. I just checked. It was like one minus 175. So
Oh,
not
wow.
great
Okay.
odds. Yeah, not great odds there. But I think it's happening. So
All right. I went. I can hardly call this a lock. It's I went Super Bowl MVP pick. So
oh
this is far from a lock, but I think it's a value play here. And based on your analysis, I think you might agree with me here. I'm rolling Rashid Shaheed, Super Bowl MVP, plus 4,500. All right. This guy, he gets a return touchdown, and he gets a big bomb down the field for another touchdown, and there's a chance that's enough to get him the Super Bowl
yeah.
MVP.
The return touchdown there is key for you because here's the issue: if he catches 2 touchdowns, Sam Darnold's
It's
getting the
Darnold.
MVP,
Yep.
right?
It's got to be a return touchdown in
It's
there.
got to be a return touchdown. He's got to have. I mean, if he gets like 2 of them, that's like for sure. But the issue is, yeah, if the reception touchdowns, it's always the quarterback.
Yep.
So I like it. You know what? It's a tough lock. I don't know that I'd call this a lock.
It's not a lock.
But
it's the value bet of the week.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the value bet there. Yeah, for sure. If you get a return touchdown in there, it's
Maybe
in
another
play, for
big
sure.
return too that doesn't go for a touchdown or something. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I think it's a fun play to throw a
It is a
dollar
fun
at
play.
or whatever. See what happens there. But all right, we can get into our next segment here. It should be a fun one. We're gonna do a Super Bowl foods draft. We're each gonna pick. We're gonna go back and forth. Each gonna come up with a top 5 here, and obviously, if one person picks something, the other person can't pick it, and we'll see
Yeah.
at the end who ends up with a better list. So I'll take the honors on this one, kicking it off. This is a high
Okay.
pressure first overall pick here. I'm going crowd favorite. It's gonna slap. Everybody wants it. Give me pizza first overall.
Good pick. Good pick. You know what? Pizza's versatile, right? You can get all the different toppings you want on there. It's a crowd favorite. Good overall first pick. I think that is a great pick. All right. I'm going to go my first overall pick. I'm going to go something also versatile. I'm going to go kind of with a main, something that's, a little snacky, but also like, going to fill you up a little bit. I'm going to go sliders.
All right. That's a good one. That was definitely on my list. That's a good pick. I mean, because you get a couple different flavors in there, and they're going to slap, That's a good
Yeah,
pick.
they're always going to be good. They're like drenched in butter on the top. Like nobody's going to hate sliders. So, yeah, I like it.
All right. I think that leaves me no choice. I think I have to go chicken wings. 2 overall.
Man, that was going to be my next pick.
I got pizza and wings. This is
That's a good.
this is looking
that's a
not
good,
good for you. This is already elite. Anything else I get is just icing on the cake here.
good combination there with chicken wings. All right, I'm gonna go now with Little Smokies. Okay.
Ooh.
Also versatile. I feel like you can go a couple different sauces there. You can wrap them in bacon. You can put them in like pigs in a blanket style. I feel like also versatile food.
That's a solid pick. That was not on my list, but if I had thought of them, that probably would have made my list. That's a good pick. Next, I think I am gonna go with I'm getting my top 3 here. This is I was not expecting this. I'm getting nachos
Oh,
off the board here. We've got our chips, we've got our queso, salsa, beef, some lettuce, a little cheese sprinkled on top, some jalapenos in there.
Nachos was on my list. I thought it might fall a little ways, so I let it go for a bit. But you know what? Is what it is. Um, all right, I'm gonna have to go down. I'm gonna have to go pull out the big guns here.
You should have done that earlier.
I feel like I should have done this earlier, but you know what? It's time. It's what we need to do. I'm going buffalo chicken dip. Okay, can't go wrong with the buffalo chicken dip. Everyone loves it, even if you don't like spice and hot sauce and things like that. I don't know, mixed in the buffalo chicken dip, very good. So I'm going with that.
Yep, that was due up next on my list. So good pick there. Good pick. Oh, what do I do now? I think I gotta get to the other side of things here. We gotta get a little sweets action in our spread as well here. We're gonna go with puppy chow.
It's a very you pick.
It is. I love me some puppy chow. That will just top you off after all your pizza, wings, and nachos, and it's just an elite dessert.
You know, I didn't even think dessert on this list, and I'm not a big dessert guy at the Super Bowl. I feel like it's fine. You can have have a cookie or whatever, but like, I don't know. I'm there to just like have the sides and the mains, and I don't know. Have never been a big dessert guy at the Super Bowl, but puppy chow is a very you pick for sure. Oh, what do we do here now? Let's go. I'm going to go with another kind of side. Just get a few, eat them with a toothpick. Barbecue meatballs.
All right. Another one I didn't have on my list, but another one that if they're there, I'm going to be eating them. I'm down to my last pick here, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've got to go for it. For those of you who don't know, we are in Wisconsin.
Oh, no.
Give me some deep fried cheese curds.
Okay, you didn't know where
out.
I was going to go.
Where did you think I was going to go?
Don't worry. You might find out here shortly. Don't worry.
All right.
I like the cheese curd. Good pick. I feel like at most parties you don't necessarily have the deep fried cheese curd. I feel like you're getting like, not deep fried, the squeaky cheese curds,
ones,
cheese and sausage, But deep fried cheese curds at the Super Bowl party, I mean, you can't go wrong, especially with everything else you got there. I mean, nice to have on the side, dipped in ranch.
Oh yeah.
All right. My last pick, it's going to be a reach, and I think I've already lost this draft, so it's fine. If I was like in the running.
If you're going where I think you're going, it might be the saving grace of your list.
I don't think you know where I'm going here. All right. Okay. Also in the Midwest, I got to give a shout out to my girl Amy Hendricks. Midwest sushi, ham and pickle roll-ups, okay? That's where I'm going for my last pick. They're nice because you know what? You can just have like several of them and just be like munching on them. And it's not this thing that's going to be super filling, but really good. It's just like ham, pickle, little cream cheese. Delightful. Some would say you could eat the last one.
That's a good pick, especially eating the last one.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if you were – I considered trying to bend the rules. I didn't know if you were going to go with beer. That's where I was concerned you were going. Because, I mean, it was a foods list, but also what's a Super Bowl party without some good beers? So,
ooh, beer might have played. I don't know. Beer might have played. I think I would have allowed that.
If you had taken more of the ones off my list, I might have had to pull it out at the end. But
fair enough. What was your last pick again? You had
it was deep fried cheese curds.
Oh yeah, cheese curds. That's right. All right, let's get a little rundown here and let the fans decide who had the better list. It's probably not me. I didn't do a very good job here.
I think I dominated this.
Ben, we'll see. We'll see what the people say, okay? Ben had pizza, chicken wings, nachos, puppy chow, and deep fried cheese curds.
Bang.
Fairly good list. I had sliders, Little Smokies, buffalo chicken dip, barbecue meatballs, and Midwest sushi. I think my list isn't that bad. I feel like I'm like right there. I feel like I'm right there. I feel like I have a fighting chance here. So all
I
right,
think,
everybody can
you
let us
needed
know.
one of wings, pizza, or nachos from me though.
Yeah,
That trio
probably,
is deadly. I mean, we're talking LeBron,
probably.
D Wade, and Chris Bosh all on my team over here. That's a big three.
Yeah, yeah. I should have put. What I should have done is when you took pizza, I should have taken chicken wings right away. Because pairing those two together yeah, that might have done me in a little bit. All right. Well, everybody can let us know in the comments who has the better list. Let us know if there's other Super Bowl foods that you like and enjoy. And
Yeah, let us know if we both slept on one too.
yeah, we might have
I was
missed
thinking
something.
about this list a decent amount, and I was pretty confident that there's like so many other foods that I just didn't think of that would absolutely slap. So let us know
You've
if
got
we're missing ones too.
I feel like you got like just simple things like taco dip or like deviled eggs and chips and dip. They just didn't necessarily make the list, but like all honorable mention and good things to eat for sure.
Yeah, I had a backup on mine of just straight up just Doritos. Like crack open a big old bag of Doritos. That's gonna make it onto my plate too. But there's so many options. You had to be selective here, and unfortunately, chips and dip, Doritos, just not stellar enough to make it.
Don't stick out. No, for
Yep.
sure.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all we got for today. We'll be back in a couple weeks, and we'll go over talk about the Super Bowl, see what happens, cash in my massive Rashid Shaheed MVP pick. We'll kind of recap the NFL coaching carousel and all the moves that will be finalized there, and then since football is going to be over, we'll have to kind of talk about something else. So we'll move over to the NBA. Trade deadline is wrapping up as we're recording this episode. We'll kind of react to all that, and I guess probably preview that coming forward, and maybe we'll talk a little college basketball in there too. March Madness will be around the corner at that point, so should be fun. Moving on from football into what's new, and looking forward to going forward with it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
all right.
Well,
Thanks for
have
watching,
a good
everyone.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, have a good Super Bowl. Enjoy your pizza, wings, and cheese curds and all that good food. So, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.